Regelski suggests that teachers should engage in more philosophical study on the philosophies and theories of education, as they can inform not only how to teach or facilitate, but the rationales behind using one approach over another. In addition, Regelski suggests that if we are not overtly exploring the philosophical underpinnings of our own practice, we will implicitly and uncritically engage in what Regelski refers as a weak philosophy. So in other words, we will unknowingly model philosophies of education without understanding the rationales and research that supports or criticizes such approaches. So to be extremely explicit with this, computer science educators might be engaging in constructionist practices or constructivist theories or approaches without even knowing what constructionism or constructivism is. These are just two of the many different theories or philosophies that can guide computer science education. Now, this becomes problematic when we don't know why these theories are important or when they are intended to be used. So to combat this, Regelski poses a strong sense of philosophy. Here's a quote from page 104 that kind of elaborates on this. Quote, "Philosophy in the strong sense, in contrast, requires familiarity with the discipline of philosophy, that body of knowledge and literature resulting from the critical, logical, and reasoned examination of fundamental philosophical issues over history. It requires, further, a properly philosophical application of this knowledge in the service of a critical or analytical attitude towards current issues, particularly in the kinds of unexamined beliefs and uncritical opinions that constitute the weak sense of philosophy. In the absence of such a critical attitude, many of the most cherished beliefs and convictions of computer science educators go unchallenged and not philosophically clarified, despite the fact that so many issues facing computer science teachers are much more complex, richly textured, and multifaceted than their common sense or weak philosophy can accommodate." End quote. Now, in this quote and in the quotes that I'm going to read later on in the episode, I changed music teachers or music educators to computer science teachers or computer science educators. So just as an FYI, slight modification, otherwise all the other words are the same. So in addition to engaging in a strong philosophy, Regelski suggests that educators should engage in praxis, which is the, quote, "practical knowledge for helping people," end quote, that involves phronesis, which is, quote, "the need to observe standards of care," end quote. Those are both from page 104. Okay, so a quick summary of this particular section in the paper. Regelski is basically saying that we, as a profession, need to engage in philosophy more and think more critically about the kind of philosophies that we are explicitly or implicitly using in our classroom, which is something that I've mentioned in previous interviews. Whether you want to or not, you are engaging in some kind of learning theories or philosophies, and it is much better to be explicit about them and understand them, so that way you know why and when to use particular philosophies over others. This excerpt of the CSK8 podcast is from episode number 62, which is titled On Methodolatry and Computer Science Teaching as Critical and Reflective Practice.